Banquo's ghost has now appeared. Obviously, this play, Macbeth, has been performed for, let's see, 1605, 1705, 1805, 1905, 2000, 400 years. That's right, isn't it? 400 years. And directors have found many different ways of presenting Banquo's ghost. One of the most common ones is they have, rather than walk onto stage, the actor appears in the chair. Either like from coming down from above or from below the stage. Other performances have had like some like a light appear where Banquo is sat, so like an imaginary ghost. So there's loads of different ways of doing this, but obviously the worst one would just be for an actor to walk on stage with a sign saying Banquo's ghost and sit down. But Banquo's ghost has now appeared and has sat in Macbeth's seat. But Macbeth's not at the start of the page here. Hello, cursor. Where are we? At the start of the page here, Macbeth hasn't yet seen Banquo's ghost. Macbeth says, "Here had we now our country's honoured roof, were the graced person of our Banquo present." So he's saying we would have all of the lords in Scotland here present if Banquo was here. And he then says, "Who may I rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance?" Mischance means something's unfortunate. So I hope it's because he's a little bit late and rude, and not that something unfortunate has happened to him. So with two things here, you've got the dramatic irony, because Macbeth knows full well that something unfortunate has happened to him. But also, in terms of Macbeth's character development, here he's being... whereas before he couldn't hide his guilt, here he's being incredibly controlling of his emotions. As he knows full well that he's ordered the death of Banquo, and he's actually got the gall to say, "Oh, I hope something unfortunate hasn't happened to him." So this is ruthless Macbeth, completely in control of his emotions. Ross, one of the lords, says his absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. So he's broken his promise to be here. Pleased your highness to grace us with your royal company. So please come and sit down with us. Macbeth says the table's full. He thinks the table's full because he now sees somebody in his seat. And Lennox points to the seat where Banquo's ghost is, and says, "Here is a place reserved, sir." So remember, only Macbeth can see Banquo's ghost, obviously because he's the only one that's guilty of the death. And Macbeth says, where is this place? He can't see a seat free because every seat is taken. Lennox points to the seat. "Here, my good lord, what is it that moves your highness?" So here's the free seat. What's the reason for your strange reaction? Because at this stage, Macbeth has now looked at what they are saying is a spare seat, and in that spare seat, he sees Banquo's ghost. And Macbeth says, "Which of you has done this?" So he's trying to blame the others for the appearance of Banquo's ghost. And the lords, who can't see Banquo's ghost, say, "What, my good lord, have done what?" Macbeth says, "Thou canst not say I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me." So he's saying, you can't say I'm responsible for this death, this murder. When this is on stage and when this is on films, normally Banquo's ghost is kind of covered with the wounds and the blood that he suffered when he was killed by the murderers. So never shake thy gory locks at me. So Banquo's ghost is kind of shaking and trembling his head, and Macbeth is addressing Banquo's ghost, saying, I didn't do it, and please don't shake that head at me, don't look at me. Ross says, "Let's leave, gentlemen. Macbeth is not very well, he's acting very strangely." And then Lady Macbeth takes control again. Again, she fulfills this role of managing managing the appearances of the feast, making sure everything runs smoothly, making sure Macbeth does his role as entertainer and host, and making sure that there are no hitches. And when there is a hitch, such as Macbeth going slightly mad, she smooths it over. So she says, "Sit, worthy friends, my lord is often thus, and has been from his youth. Pray you keep seat, the fit is momentary." So she's saying, please sit down, please don't leave. Macbeth often behaves like this. He has these temporary fits, and he has done since childhood. So she's trying to explain it away, saying, look, he has these fits. They're temporary, they come and go quickly, and he's had them since he was a child. He'll be back to normal in a minute. Upon a thought again, he will be well, back to normal. If you much note him, you shall offend him and extend his passion. So if you actually stare at him while he's going a bit bonkers, then you'll annoy him, you'll make him angry. Feed and regard him not. So carry on eating and don't look at him, which would be hard to do when Macbeth is clearly having a hallucination and going slightly mad. Then Lady Macbeth says, "Are you a man?" Now that is an aside to Macbeth. Only Macbeth can hear that, not any of the other lords. So this is, isn't it? This is back to before the murder of Duncan, where she challenged his masculinity. Here it's not to get him to murder Duncan. Here it's just to get him to control his emotions. She's there to make sure that he is maintaining appearances, that everything appears normal. Macbeth replies, "I and a bold one that dare look on that which might appall the devil." So Lady Macbeth says, "Are you a man?" Basically, pull yourself together. Are you a man? And Macbeth says, "Yes, I am a man, and I'm a brave one. As brave as any man that dare look upon something which might terrify the devil." And the thing that he's looking at is Banquo's ghost. So he's saying, yes, I am brave because I'm looking at something that would terrify the devil. So, back a little bit to the murder of King Duncan, with Lady Macbeth in control and Macbeth not so much guilty, because he's at this stage he's got the ability to tell blatant lies about Banquo and say that pretend that he's expecting him to turn up to the feast, but paranoia. So and the ghost really exists here, perhaps to suggest that there's no way that Macbeth can escape the consequences of what he's done. Remember what we know about Macbeth and King James. King James sponsored Macbeth's theatre company, the Kingsmen, and normally it would be considered tradition for the first performance of a new play to be performed in front of the king. So there's no way in this play that Shakespeare can show the murder of a king such as Duncan to be a good thing. So this really, Macbeth's paranoia is to show, and the ghost of Banquo is to show, there can be no escape from the consequences of the regicide that he's committed. Okay, 3 questions please, the last 3 questions for this week. And if you could, if you've emailed them previously to me, then do the same again, or write them down and take a picture. So, question number 1, please. Banquo's ghost comes into this scene and sits down. Where does Banquo's ghost sit? Question number 2. How does Lady Macbeth explain Macbeth's strange behaviour? And number 3. Why is Banquo's ghost in this scene? Yes, to terrify Macbeth, but what is Banquo's ghost a reminder of? That's it for this week. Send me your answers. If you've got any feedback on these videos, how they can be improved, then let me know and I'll do my best. Bye bye.